Hello, I'm Haley. I've been alive for 17 years. 17 years too many. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Basically my channel is going to be about eating disorders and starting a conversation about them, ending stigma around them, and kind of educating people about it, since a lot of people have no fucking clue about them. For my first video, I decided to do a video on 15 things that you should never say to somebody who's struggling with an eating disorder. A lot of these things that I'm going to be saying not to say are things that I personally have been told, and that other people I know have been told that are struggling with an eating disorder. Let's get this poppin', LGBTs. I'm gonna cut that out. Thing number one to not say to somebody who is struggling with an eating disorder is you should put some more meat on your bones, or guys like girls with meat on their bones. Do not say that. It's really fucking annoying. There's no reason for you to say it. And not everyone's straight. Not everybody likes guys. So first of all, I don't care if guys like girls with meat on their bones because I'm gay as fuck. Second of all, they definitely don't do it to please other people. And it is very offensive for you to comment on our bodies when we are struggling with a life-threatening disease. It is a disease, it can be passed down genetically, and it's not really something, it's not something to just joke about like that or say something so lighthearted. That's not even lighthearted, that's rude. It's just really rude. Please don't say it. Thing number two. I wish I could have an eating disorder. I would love to lose weight like you. I've actually heard people say this, or people want an eating disorder, and you don't. It literally consumes your whole life. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're thinking about food. You're thinking about how many calories you've consumed, how much you've exercised, how much you haven't exercised, how much weight you've lost, how much weight you've gained, if you binged. It's horrible. So please, definitely to a person with an eating disorder, do not say that. Even to a person without an eating disorder, just don't wish something upon yourself like that. It's fucking awful. So please, do not say that. Number three, don't waste my money. Just eat. I have been told this before. People have bought me food, or my parents have bought me food, and I don't want to eat, and they tell me I'm wasting their money. Look. No matter if you tell somebody with an eating disorder, oh, I paid this much for this, you're gonna eat it. Or, I paid money for that, why are you not eating it? That's rude. We can't help it. Like, stop trying to guilt trip us into eating, or stop trying to make us feel guilty for not eating when we cannot help it. Nobody that doesn't have an eating disorder will understand how stressful it is to be put in a situation where you're being forced to eat, and especially when you're being guilt-tripped about it. It's horrible. Please do not say that to somebody, because I've been told it before and it made me feel like absolute shit. Because I'm sorry, I don't want to waste your money, and I understand food costs money, and I feel fucking awful. I know that you spent your money on it. But my eating disorder doesn't care. Number four, didn't you just eat? Please do not ever say that to somebody. I have been told that before, and it triggered the living hell out of me. I literally, if you say that to somebody, just don't. Just, you know what, I'm not gonna even say if you do, don't. I've been told that before, and it caused me either to relapse or it caused me to not be able to eat for the rest of the day. That one little comment could fuck somebody up for the rest of the day. So don't say that. Number five, this isn't good for you. Just eat healthy and exercise. People with eating disorders know that what they're doing to themselves isn't good for them, that it's not healthy. But it is a disorder. Our brain doesn't care. Our brain tells us to do anything to get what it wants, even if it's harming us. So saying that to somebody doesn't help them. It's just, there's no point in it. So just don't say it. Number 6, you look so much better, or you look so much healthier. I know when people say that, they mean good by it, they don't mean any harm by it, but that comment is something that is very triggering and very harmful, because with somebody who has an eating disorder, their brain translates you look so much healthier, you look so much better, to you've gained weight. And that's cost me a relapse before by being told that. Number 7, you're eating too fast, you should slow down. I got told this the other day, and I literally put my food down, looked them in the eye, and was like, thanks. Because after that, I didn't want to eat. When you comment on how much we're eating, it tells us in our brain, you're eating too much. I don't know why, but in my brain, that's what it translates to. I don't know about other people, but at least for me, it makes me think you're eating too much or you're being a pig. And so that just makes me not want to finish my food, and overall it just triggers me really bad. Number 8, you don't look like you have an eating disorder, or you don't look sick. There's no look for an eating disorder. That's a big common misconception about eating disorders. People think that only sickly thin people have them, and that's not the case. You can be overweight and have an eating disorder. You can be healthy and have an eating disorder. You can be thin and have an eating disorder. You can be underweight. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what race you are, what sexuality, what your height is, what your gender is. Males have eating disorders too. That's a big misconception. People think it's only a rich white girl problem. No, it's not. So when you tell somebody you don't look sick enough, or you don't look like you have an eating disorder, you're not thin enough, that's just basically telling them lose more weight in their head. At least in my head, that's what it tells me. It's basically just an invitation to them to get sickly thin, to where they look like they have an eating disorder. Number 9, you're doing this to yourself. In a way, I guess, yeah, we are, but it's not really us. We have this is how I describe it, we have a part of our brain that is us. We have a part of our brain that is our eating disorder voice. And when it gets really bad, it gets to a point where the my bones are popping. What was I saying? Oh, when you have an eating disorder and it gets really bad, it's like the eating disorder voice takes over the part of your brain that is you, and it just slowly consumes the part of your brain that was you, and it takes over you. And it gets to a point where it's not even you anymore. Like, you wish you could say it was yourself, so that maybe you'd understand who's doing it to you, why it's doing it to you, but it's just this thing in your head, and a voice in your head, so it's not yourself. A lot of times, I'm sure almost every person with an eating disorder that has people that know about it has been told that they're doing it to themselves. And it's hurtful to hear, because you might think we are, but when it comes down to it, it's not us. We don't want this for ourselves. We would never intentionally do this to ourselves. 10. If you're fat, then I must be obese. Body dysmorphia. Let's talk about that. We see ourselves in the mirror differently than you see us. So when we look in the mirror, if you have body dysmorphia, when you look in the mirror, you're gonna see a version of your body that isn't your body. Your body doesn't even look like that. Other people are gonna see you way differently, and people are gonna tell you you're not even fat, or you're fine, you don't look like how you say you look. But when it comes down to it, our brain is gonna convince us that we do look that way. So just don't say that to somebody. It's stupid, it's pointless, it's fucking annoying. I've heard it so many times. Just shut up, don't say it. Number 11, I wish I had your self-control. People without eating disorders think of our disordered habits as a way of control. But when it comes down to it, we don't have any control. Our eating disorder is in control of us. We're not in control of it. And when people say they wish that they had our self-control, we don't have any self-control. There's no self to control. We've been completely consumed by the disorder to the point where it controls our everyday thoughts, our everyday moods. It's consumed our lives. It's not a form of self-control. If anything, we're out of control. And people seem to not get that. Number 12, just eat your food and stop being ungrateful. There's people starving out there. Again, with the guilt trips. We know that, but we are sick. We have a disorder in our brain, and we don't do it in spite. We don't do it just to be ungrateful. And that's just, I've heard that be told to people with eating disorders so many times, as if it'll just snap us out of it, and it doesn't. If anything, it just makes us feel worse for something that we can't help. Number 13, why are you doing this to me? I think that is one of the most painful things to hear, because it reminds us that we're not only hurting ourselves, but we're hurting other people around us. And when we get told that, it's like a knife getting jabbed into our heart. We don't want to do this. We're not doing it to you. We're not doing it to anyone. I mean, it's not us. I don't know how many times I could say it. It's not us. It's it's a voice in our brain that's taken over. So no, we're not doing it to you. The eating disorder is. 14, you could afford to lose a couple more pounds. I've been told this before by my own family member, my grandma. I remember she was like, why don't you just eat healthy? And in her Cajun accent, I mean, you could afford to lose a couple more pounds. Just stay safe, baby. I'm like, oh my God. Like, my mom literally chewed her out, because you don't say that to somebody. I mean, I'm delusional at a lot of points in my life, but I wasn't delusional then. And I knew that I was at a weight where I didn't need to lose any weight. I think that caused a really bad relapse after that. I started losing weight again after that. So never, and I mean never, say that to somebody, even if they're overweight in your eyes. Do not say that ever. And last but not least, because there's many more things I could rant about, and my neck just popped, my bones. You look like a stick, or you look like a twig. Okay? If anything, that feeds our eating disorder in a way. When we get told we look too skinny, or you're so skinny, or you look like a twig, or you look like I got told I look like a praying mantis. I just got told I'm served by my mom. Thanks. If anything, that feeds our eating disorder. Doesn't help us. Doesn't help anybody. What does it do for you? Are your bills paid? Is your skin clear? Is your debt paid off? No? Okay, then what did it do for you? All it did for me is just make me worse. I think that was everything that I have for now. And these were mine and some others' top 15 things to not say to somebody with an eating disorder. If y'all could like, subscribe. I don't know how this YouTube thing works. I mean, I don't really care about subscribers or likes. I just want to get the word out there for people who are struggling. If y'all ever need somebody to talk to, I'll put my social medias down below. My DMs are open always, and I'm here to talk. Of course, I might not give the best advice because I'm struggling myself, but either way, I'm always here to listen to you, to let you vent. I don't know how to end this, so bye.